This is the 9 of 100 days of design. The exercise for today is music player. In our previous design, we'll be using mobile screen and desktop screens in our design. Today, we'll be using a tablet screen, which is of this size. We could have used a mobile screen in this design, but the mobile screen will not contain what we want in our design, because we want to have a station whereby you can have your playlist by your side and also the media player by the other side. So that's why we'll be using a more wider screen. So we'll stick to the previous color we'll be using in the designs. So we have this kind of black, white and the blue. And also I have gotten some pictures from Pinterest which I'm going to use in the design. Also I've gotten some icons from Iconsas. So all these icons have variants. So we're going to be using them in our design. Also I have a style for shadow that I've created. To make things easier, we will create shadow styles from this table, so that whenever we need to use any shadow, we just pick the shadow from the styles. So to do that, I'm going to create 3 rectangles like this. One will stand for each of the shadow. So the first one, we're having one shadow that will be applied to a big card. We have second shadow that will be applied to small icon, and we have the third shadow that will be applied to big icons. We have the border style that will be applied to big icon object. To create the style for each of these shadows, I'm going to select the first rectangle and I'll go to effect and click plus, and then go to the property of the effect, then impute this value here. We have the x-axis to be -2, the y to be 0, and the blur to be 40 pixel, and spread is 0. The color is same thing as this, which is black, and at 30% opacity. So having done that, I'll go to style, effect style here, and click on this plus to add new style. So I'll call this one big card shadow. So the first one has been created. I'll go to the second rectangle and add the properties to the shadow. So I'm going to click effect here, click on the property to edit. I'll say -10 for x, -9 for y, and we have blur to be 22 pixels, spread is still 0, and the color is 48 at 22% opacity. So that's for the first shadow on the small icon. For the second one, I'm going to click on this plus button, then edit the property to have x to be 10, y to be 16, blurs to be 22. So the color is still zeros, which is black, and also 22% opacity. Having done that, I'll go to the effect style and click on this plus to add the style. So I'm going to call this one small icon shadow. So for the big one, I'm going to select the third rectangle and click on the effects here. Then the first thing we have here for x is 10 pixels, so y is 16 pixels, the blur is 22, and the spread is still 0. The color is black at 25% opacity. I'm going to add the second one by clicking on the plus and edit the property. We have -10 for x, -16 for y, then we have 22 as blur, 0 pixel for spread, and also 25% opacity, but the color is 35 3B40. I'm going to click on the effect style here, click on the plus to add the shadow, and to add the style, and I'll say big icon shadow. So I've saved that. So if you look at it, we're having 3 shadows here. You have the big we have the small and we have the big icon. So this border style will also be applied to this big icon. So I'm going to select the third rectangle that has the big icon shadow and click on the plus in the front of stroke here to add stroke. So the color is still 0 at 10% opacity and the border width is 9 pixels. So that is that. I'm done with this. So I'll save the style here now and I'll call this one big icon border. So that's that. So we'll go straight to the design now. So what I'm going to do is to copy these screens. I'm going to copy this screen and the color and the pictures that I downloaded and copy them aside. While copying, I highlight and drag while pressing down Alt and Shift on my keyboard. So if you are familiar with wireframe, you know that whenever you see any circular object or rectangular object with diagonal line across it, that is an image or an illustration or an icon. So this is going to be an image. The rest are going to be icons and image. So and whenever I see a rectangle, you know it's a text. So these are going to be text and so on. And whenever you are seeing text, it's because those texts are very, very important, and without putting them directly as text, designer might be confused to know what will be there. So that's why we include those texts in this wireframe. And also we have the menu items. So the menu item here, we have the logo, we have names, then we have icons and also text beside them. So to start this design, I'm going to select the main screen and rename this to music player. And also the second screen, I'll call this one menu. So for the first screen here, I'm going to select it and press I on the keyboard and give our black color. So we're going to give it our black color, which is this. So also this playlist by this side, I'm going to select the playlist also and apply the same style. Press I on keyboard and select the color. So that's for the background of the screen. So the next thing I want to do, I want to replace this with a frame. I want to replace what I have here with a frame. If you look at the size of this thing, is 303 by 303 pixels. So what I will do here is I will press Shift Command G. If you are using Windows, you can press Shift Ctrl G to add frame to it directly. So there is a frame here now that's been added. So to this frame, I'm going to clip the frame and I'll delete this rectangle I have inside. I'll select the frame like this and I'm going to fill it with a color. This is by default is going to be a white color. So I want to give it a border radius, something that will make it round. So this is perfect. So the color for this, I'm going to use our main black color. I will just press I on keyboard and click on the screen to give it the color. You can see we are not seeing it anymore. But I'm going to add the stroke to it, the stroke we created earlier. So I'll click on this and go to big icon border. So it's been added to it. The big icon border has been added to it and it's 9 pixels. I'm going to increase this to 9. So this is what we have, and if you look at it, the something is showing. The next thing I'll put to it is the effect, the big icon shadow, which is this. So designing this, I decided to make this in a kind of polymorphic design. So we have the big icon already. So for the small icons here, what we have here is 40 pixels as size. So I'm going to select this and apply frame to it by pressing Alt Command G. I'm going to give the frame 100% corner radius so that it becomes circle. So I'm going to fill it with a color and delete what I have inside. So here's what we have now. So this is 40 pixel. I'm going to increase this to 52 pixel because this is a wider screen. So I'm going to increase it to 52 pixel like this. Then I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C or Command C, then select the rest of it here and do Shift Command R. If you are using Windows, you can use Shift Ctrl R. So it's going to take it. So these are going to be for the small icons, and for the small icon also we're going to have the color is going to be our primary color. So I'm going to select the color here and also apply stroke to it. I'm going to click on this stroke, and this stroke I'm going to edit it something like this. So it has a fake color. What remains here is to give it the shadow. I've selected all of them, so I'll go to effect, then I'll click on small icon shadow to apply it to it. So applying the small icon shadow to it, also this shadow has come out. I have this progress bar. I'm having a black color here, so I'm going to change the black color to a white, and the white is going to be 60% opacity, just like this. So this progress guy is going to be our primary color, which is the blue. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to hold down Alt on the keyboard and drag it here. So I'll select this and press on the keyboard and give it the color. Also this thumb, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click on it, press I and tap on the color. We also have one behind it, which is the background for it. The color is this, and this is going to take our small icon shadow like this, and the inner one I'm going to apply new shadow to it. Click on the plus on the effect, and the shadow is going to be inner shadow. Then I'll change the color to something like this, then increase the, I'm going to reduce this. So that's that for that. So I'm not using this color again. I'm going to delete all. Let me just keep it aside. It's going to be useful. Now what we have here is a menu button. It's a menu button that you can tap on to go. So from the icon I have, let me copy the icon here. Just keep it here. So from the icon I have here, I have menu icon here. I'm going to copy this, Command C, and select this and do Shift Command R to replace it. So the color is black. I'm going to give it white, which is our FF, and also this is also going to be 60% opacity. So that is that. For the sake of the interface, I would like to increase the size of this icon. So this 24 pixel, I'm giving it 32 pixels. So here we have the control buttons for the media player. So I'm going to copy each of these. This is backward 10 seconds. I'm going to Command C, Command V. So this needs to be aligned. I've aligned that. So other ones also. So this should be pulse. This is pulse. This is forward by 10 seconds. This is next, and this is previous. So the next thing I'm going to do is to align all these things vertically center and horizontally center. So that's what I'm doing now. So everything is done. What I'll do here now is to select this frame, then go to the color where we have black. We want to make sure they are all white. So I'm going to press FF here to make them white, and they are going to be at 30% opacity. That is that. But if you look at it, this is playing, and this pause button should be our primary focus here. So I'm going to copy our blue color. So this button is going to take our blue color instead of the black. This is blue, and also the icon is not, the icon is not going to be 30% opacity but 100% opacity, so that it shows more. So this is getting the focus. The pause button is getting the focus. Also here I'm going to have add to favorite button, but this also is going to be an icon. I'm going to copy one of these, Command C, and replace this. Shift Command R to replace. And also this is what I'm going to have there, Command C, so that if you are playing, you'll be able to add a song to the favorite. So this is going to be our white color, which is FF, and also this is going to be at 60% opacity. Now this rectangle is going to be a text, so I'm going to put a text here, and I'll write, for example, dance with me feat Nelson. Dance with me feat Nelson Coles. So the size is 18 pixels. This is okay. I'm going to cut this, Command X, and replace this with it, Shift Command R. So this is going to be 60% opacity, also 6% opacity. And also we can probably have the name of the artist down here. So I'm going to copy this and select this and do Shift Command R to replace this, and the size of this is going to be, if this is 18, let's change this to 24 pixels. Yes, this is okay, and this is 18. This is okay now, and this, we're going to reduce this to 30% opacity. And here we can have the name of the artist and the album of the song. So from here, let's say the name is Justin Coker. Then the album is Akoja Ewe. So we have the name of the song that is playing, and we also have the name of the artist and the album. So that is that for this site. So we can assume this song is being added to the favorite. So instead of leaving this color to be white, we can just select our primary color and give it to it. That okay, this is telling us that user have already added this song to the playlist. Now here we're going to have the playlist. So I'm going to design the first playlist, then copy it and apply it to others. Here, this is when we need this image. I'm going to copy this image here, and each of these, so this is 52 pixels. I'm going to press on the keyboard Alt Command J to put a frame to add a frame to it, and this frame is going to be 4 pixels for the corner radius. I'm going to copy one of this song, Command C, and put it inside the frame, Shift Command R. So inside the frame, I'm going to adjust this. So this is what I have. So what will be our concern in this image is the width, which is 52. So let us increase it. So the width is now 56. I'm going to select all the image that I have here and make sure the constraint is selected, and I'll give it 56, just like this. All of them are 56 in width, so they'll have the same size with this picture. Now I can have the name of the song here. So doing that, I'm going to copy this one that is 18 pixel, Command C, Ctrl Shift R to replace the rectangle with the text. So this is going to be 60% opacity. And again, I'm going to copy this, Command C, and replace this also, Shift Command R. And this is going to be the album of the song. For example, Akoja Ewe. And this is going to be 30% opacity, just like this. The name of the song is, just as you have it there, let's say I'm going to copy this, Command C, then select what we have here, Command V, and by default this is 24 pixels. I'm going to reduce this to 20 pixels. So this is 20 pixels and this is 18 pixels. This is good. And also we also have the time here. So the time are going to be white and 60% opacity. So we have the number of the song in the list. So we can call this one 01, this number of the song in the list. And also we have the time of the song, the total time it's going to play. And we are having an icon here. The icon we're going to have is a play icon. So I'm going to copy one of these icon here, Command C, then bring it here, Shift Command R. I'm going to reduce it to 40 pixels, make sure it's aligned, and we're going to copy this play button, Command C, then replace this, Shift Command R, and our button is going to be this but white, which is FF, and also at 30% opacity. So this should be aligned to center vertically and horizontally. We need to reduce the size of this thing to 20 pixels. This is fine and beautiful. Now, having done for the first one, I'm going to copy this, Command C, and replace some of this, Ctrl Shift R. I have replaced that. So this one that means that I didn't replace. What happened here is that this is going to be our current playing song. I'm going to copy this, Command C, and replace this with Shift Command R. And also the text we're having here, Command C, select this, Shift Command R to replace this. Also this icon, I'm going to copy it, Command C, Shift Command R. And the text, these are going to be white and 60% opacity. And the now playing song will have different icon to show that this is playing. I'm going to Command C this, Shift Command R to replace this, and this is going to be our white FF. This is not going to be 30% opacity but 60% opacity. And also we're going to change the icon's color. This is 26. I'm going to change this to 24, and it should be aligned to center. And the background icon, I'm going to change the color to our blue. So this is saying that this is a currently playing song. So I'm going to select this and give it a fill color, and the fill color is going to also be our black. So the background color for the screen, I want to increase the lightness. I want to increase the lightness of it, just like this. Lightness is 15 15 pixels. So for this also I'm going to increase the lightness to, so the lightness for this also is 15 pixels. Now playing, the lightness is going to be something like this. So this is showing, this is the now playing icon. And also we want to have another icon here, shift command R. Corner radius is going to be 8 pixels. And again we are changing the icon, command C, so that when user taps on this icon they go into another playlist. Shift command R to replace. Going to increase the size of this thing from 40 to 52 pixels and bring it up. And the color here is going to be our white, which is FF. And also the opacity is going to be 60% opacity. What we could have here is the name of the playlist, the total song, and also the time at which each song is going to play. So I'm going to copy this, command C, and replace this first one, shift command R, and say for example my playlist. Then the number of song in my playlist, I'm going to copy this text here, and the number of song, let's say 29 for example. Having done that, I'm going to select these two and do auto layout between them, shift A. Then the auto layout should be an horizontal one, so increase the space between them. I want to put a kind of small circle here inside this auto layout, small circle like this. Why the small circle stays to the top is that the alignment of our auto layout is aligned to the top, so I'm going to change it to center here so that we have it like this. So total song is 29, and this also is white, but I'm going to reduce the opacity to 60% opacity. So that's that. I'm going to copy this. The size for this is, the text size is 20. I will make it 24. Also this is going to be 24, and we have a text down here. I'll copy this, command C, then replace the, shift command R, and call this one 60 minutes 43 seconds. So I'll say 60:43 minutes. So that is time at which this song will be played. This song will be played for this time. And I'm reducing the size of this to 18 pixels. 18 is not here. I'll enter 18 just like this. So let's align this with this, align to the top. Come down a little bit. Now the next thing is to change the images that we're having here. We cannot leave just a single image here. So I'll be copying image here, command C, shift command R, and also this image is not that showing. I want to edit this image, so I'll go to the image property here. I'll try to reduce the exposure, increase the contrast, and also increase the highlight, reduce the shadow. Then I can copy this now and use command C or command X, shift command R to replace. This is the song that is playing, that's currently playing. So I'm going to copy this, command C, the picture inside, command C, and paste it here, command V, then align it to center, vertical and horizontal. Then I'm going to hold down shift and alt from the keyboard. Holding down shift will make sure the picture scales proportionally. Alt will make it go both sides. So I'm going to hold down the two and drag from any angle. So here is it. And also I'm going to blend this picture So I'll go to blending property of the layer and change it to overlay, just like this. So I'm going to delete this, don't need it no more. So the music that are not playing, we'll try to reduce their opacity. So instead of 60%, we'll take them down to 45, so that the now playing shows more. So that is that. The next thing we're going to do is to design the menu. So on the menu, we'll have a logo and a name. So I have a plugin installed, which is Iconify. I'll try and get some icons from there. So I can search music. So I want to use this icon. I'll bring it out, just like that. Now I want to remove the frame on it. I'll press Shift Command G to remove the frame. So I have just the something here. So I want to delete. I want to go to edit mode of this icon. So I'll go to edit mode here. So I'll delete this line so that I can have the inner one remaining, which is this. So the name I want to give this thing is Fox Music. Fox Music. So I'm going to copy this aside, then I'll flip it by pressing Shift H. Shift H will flip it. So I want to have something like this. First of all, I'll copy them aside, then I will union this together and press Command E on the keyboard to flatten the selection. And also this we're having here, I'm going to select this top node and give them a corner radius to smooth them. So the next thing I want to do, I want to create a circle. I'll send this circle to the back by pressing open square bracket on the keyboard. So I want to adjust this. So I'm selecting the two together and I'll do subtract to remove the inner one. So I'm pressing Ctrl or Command E on the keyboard to flatten the selection once again. So this is what I have. So I want to rotate this just like this. Then I'll flip it by pressing Shift V to flip it vertically. So I'm going to edit mode of this by double clicking on it. So this, I want to increase the corner radius of this, and I just delete this like this. So this is the icon of the logo. So this logo, I want to make it, this is what will stand here. This here we're having 52 pixels, so I'm going to make this also 52 pixels. I'll cut it, Command X, and replace the Shift Command R, replace. And also don't forget the background of this is also going to be our background. Selecting the frame, I'll press I on keyboard and select the color, and this is going to be our blue, so which is this. And the name of our something will be here, the name of the app will be here, which is Fox Music. So I'm going to copy one of these out and write Fox Music Player. So this is going to be 38. I'll call this Command X and replace this box, Shift Command R. And also the name is going to be our blue color. And I don't want to use this font. I'm changing the font to Ubuntu font, and it's going to be bold. So that is that for the Fox Music. Then what remains here are the icons that are going to be here and the text. So but before I go into that, I'm going to create text here. So first of all, I want to have a play list. So let me reduce this to 20 pixel, and it should be bold. Sorry, it should be regular, and this should be normal lato we've been using. So playlist. So you can have album. So I'm going to cut each of these. I'm going to cut each of these. Command X, Shift Command R. So this is what we have. We have artist, album, song. Okay, song. Let's have playlist after song. Then after that, let's have genre. Then we have folder, cloud, and settings. So the next thing is change the icon I have on this list. So I have an icon in my asset already. So I'm going to search user for the artist. User. So we have user. I'm going to copy this for the users. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So the icon is complete. So I'm going to be cutting this icon by pressing Command X on the keyboard. Or before that, I'll select all of them and make sure the proportional something is enabled on them, so that whenever I want to increase, I increase them. Command X, Shift Command R. So that's that. Next thing I am going to do is all these white here are going to be 60% opacity. I said earlier that the icons I have are invariant, so I'm going to change the variance of this thing to bulk. So I'm going to change the color of each of these. I mean all of the icon. Their former color is this. I'm going to change to FF, which is a white color, and reduce them to 60% opacity. So that is that. This is music player. So I'm going to remove the stroke that I have on this and apply the big card effect, which is shadow, big card shadow. I'm going to apply it to it. So this is what we have. So let's look at how this is going to be in the prototype. I'll go to prototype. So I've selected the screen, which is a Source Pro 4. So I'm going to add a starting flow to this screen, and I'll click on the play button. So this is how it's going to look like on tablets. This is how the music player is going to look like. But there's things I want to do so that when we press or tap on this icon, the menu comes out. So we'll add an interaction to it. So I'm going to click on this and draw the connection to this menu frame, and I'll say on click Instead of navigate, I'll change it to open overlay, and the overlay is going to be, okay, when you click outside, the overlay should close. When you, it should have a background of 20% black, and also it should stay at top left. And also the movement is going to be moving, and it should come from the left side to the right inward. So this setting is okay. I'm going to close it. Then we'll go back to the prototype. Let me close this. We don't need this. So if I tap on this, it comes out. So this brings us to the end of this challenge. Thank you for your time. Please make sure you subscribe, make comments. If you need anything to design, just mention the channel in the comments and state your problem, and I promise to release a video that will solve your problem. Thanks for your